you.
Yes, we are. We welcome to the program now Sandy Middleton, Executive Director of the Center for Violence Prevention. Dr. Erin Green grants Ferry Family Dentistry, and Dr. Lindsay Jerome, Obstetrician and Gynecologist. Three beautiful ladies in the studio today. Appreciate you folks coming in.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Give us an update first, Sandy, on last time I saw you, we were at the Squat and Gobble.
Yeah, it was fun.
Our good friend Tommy Turk that puts that thing on. Great night there. Speaker of the House, Philip Gunn, made a passionate speech about his interest in addressing this scourge of human trafficking in our state, championed some legislation that has been enacted. Every time I hear the stories, either from you or from Attorney General Fitch, others involved in fighting this problem in our state, I'm always blown away, honestly. Can't believe it's happening. It's inhumane. It's unthinkable. It's evil, what humans can do to other humans, especially young people that are helpless.
So true.
Give us an update.
Well, we're getting ready for Christmas. It's a great time around the center. We have both of our shelters are full of clients, and so we provide Christmas for all of our residents and their kids every year. So it's a joyful time in the midst of struggle for many of the victims that we serve. We also take care of the anybody that's received our services over the year is eligible for Christmas. And, you know, people are bringing gifts in and bringing food in, and we're just feeling a lot of love from the community this time of the year, and we hope our clients feel the same thing. And we're just here to provide hope and help, and it's a great time to demonstrate that.
So, Dr. Green, you provide services to victims of human trafficking. You've had some experience doing that. How did they come to you?
I do. I actually got involved in it within the last year. I heard about the center and the opportunity and the need for it at church, and the message was kind of what Sandy and I were talking about. Instead of looking for some way to serve, something to get involved in, just offering your professional services. So that God used that to speak to me and let me get involved with this organization, and so I've been able to help multiple women this year, which has been really gratifying for me too.
What about you, Dr. Jerome? What led you to providing services to these victims?
Kind of the same as Dr. Green. I go to Pine Lake, and we had the Human Misdemeanors Against Human Trafficking was the Love First initiative that Pine Lake went through. I think it was 2 years ago. And I called and was like, hey, I don't know how I can help, but I'm available. And basically, like Erin said, I'm doing something that I do all day, every day, and I'm just handing those services over to Sandy and her people and tell me how I can help. So it's like she said, very gratifying that you can provide something that you were doing anyway to people that really need it.
Yeah, so when these patients come to you, do they often have illnesses or just conditions that are a result of their experience?
I take care of lots of different situations. I'm an OBGYN, so I deliver babies, and I take care of other problems that people have. I have taken care of some people in some emergent situations that needed to go to the operating room. Just from a result of being in a bad situation. And so I've been able to kind of help speed the process along where they may have been stuck at the university or somewhere else where they wouldn't have gotten seen immediately. And so I've been able to kind of move a little bit quicker and getting people taken care of.
She's being modest. She is the boss when it comes to the love and the care that she provides for victims. And then they have been terribly injured, and she's basically shut her clinic down to take care of a client and clients in that situation. So she's being modest, as Dr. Green is as well. So,
Dr. Green, do they often show up in your office where you're providing services, treatment? You see neglect, perhaps, as a result of this? They're behind on just taking care of themselves in this regard?
Possibly. Everybody's story, even just an average patient, everybody has a story to why they are where they are with their oral health. But the cool thing about these women is they're ready to heal. They want to get back into, maybe a normal job. And unfortunately, you're not not treated the same way if you have a terrible oral health
Sure.
or missing a lot of teeth. So that's been pretty much the situation, I would say, with most of them. Nobody has exactly been in just a lot of pain, but it's just been preventing them from moving forward with their
I
life.
got you.
Well,
Dr. Jerome, but are there situations you encounter where it's like the nick of time? Had they not landed in your office with you taking care of them, treating them, that a situation could have really exacerbated into a much more serious problem?
Definitely. I've had people that are bleeding profusely that need to stop bleeding. And so we've been able to fix that. I've delivered a couple of babies that were a result of being in a trafficking situation, and Sandy and her team have taken them in and just helped them get routine prenatal care, which is, we've caught some things on babies that wouldn't have been identified. So all of that is, you need care.
Yeah,
and
sure.
so definitely people have not been able to get that. Either they're uninsured or they have just been in a situation where they didn't even know where they could go. And so we just kind of provide an open door and say, hey, we want to help you. We want to take care of you. So it's been
Sandy, you're about to say something?
Well, I was just going to say we want to make sure that anybody listening, these are services that are through a partnership with the center, and we don't show up. They are able to access these services through the center. So we don't want anybody to go show up at one of the clinics, but that's how that works. They usually are committed to the long-term program that we offer through the tower, and so it's kind of a we say it's treating these clients. It's like peeling an onion, and you just the immediate needs may be Dr. Jerome. It may be food, health, safety, and then you start to get to the other issues like and Dr. Green and her services and other people that are like them come into play, and they provide services for the next step, and that's the cool thing. That's why we wanted to honor them with the Angel Award this year, is because they're such a shining example of volunteerism. And we just wanted people to know that, volunteerism can just mean providing the service that you already provide, and using the talent that the Lord gave you to bless other people in your setting, and they're just such an amazing example of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wonder if we didn't have kind-hearted people like this, what the situation would be like. They're already in terrible scenarios, and I guess I think about all those that need these services now. How do we get to them?
Right.
And I know that's what you guys work on all the time. And speaking of which, we were talking about the legislative session is less than a month away from kicking off. What's on your radar to visit with our lawmakers about this year?
Well, I've got something on my mind, George.
Of course you do. That's why I asked it.
So we were unfortunately notified a few weeks ago that we are receiving a 41% cut in our VOCA grant, which is our federal grant. And it's not just our agency, it's all of the agencies across the state of Mississippi who provide victim services. And so for us, it's been about a $500,000 cut. And so we're going to be going to the legislature to ask them for help with state funding for victim services. And they've been very gracious, and of course through the leadership. We've been blessed with leadership that is supportive of the things that we do, and so we're hopeful that they'll help us close that gap for funding so we won't have to cut services.
Have you thought about maybe requesting that there be some tax treatment that's similar to the crisis pregnancy centers tax treatment, where you can get a dollar-for-dollar credit for donations to the organization?
Right. We would love to do that. We're open to anything that the legislative, the appropriations folks that they think is viable as an option for us. So yes, we're open to anything. It's going to be really tough to continue. And we know that VOCA is going to be decreasing next year as well. So this isn't a good picture for us moving forward with our federal funding.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we certainly appreciate you folks coming in, and doctors, Erin Green And Dr. Lindsay, Jerome, we appreciate you for your generosity.
Yes.
And your willingness to help here and to provide your God-given talents to these people who are so much in need. Thanks a lot. Congratulations on your award, too. Appreciate it. All right, folks, we're stepping aside for a break. Sandy's going to stay with us, and we also have a special guest. We're coming right back in the Element Well studio. We welcome back Sandy Middleton, Executive Director of the Center for Violence Prevention, and we also welcome Grace. Grace is a human trafficking survivor. Welcome, Grace. Thanks for coming on.
Good afternoon.
You look great.
Thank you much.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming in.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
So I noticed that when we were making the exchange of the guests there, you were embracing Doctors Green and Jerome. You must know.
I definitely do. Well, I know them through the center, and so it's definitely been a great experience to get to know them.
What do you think about the work they do to help out folks?
I think that without people with such magnitude and the hearts that they have, I think that the world would be, a less loved world. And so with the skills and the love that they give, I think that it's just amazing. Definitely uplifting.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I could tell there was a special connection there.
It's life-giving to be able to be in the presence of, such people that just care,
Sure.
Yep,
Truly awesome.
definitely.
So in your recovery journey, can you talk about some of the other folks that have helped you out and the sorts of services you've received and assistance?
Oh, definitely. This journey, it's been quite a long journey. It's taken a couple years, but throughout that journey, I've had such amazing people that have definitely uplifted me, brought the light to my darkness. I've had doctors, I've had lawyers, I've had, the Center for Violence Prevention. They've definitely been there since day one, literally. They've never given up on me. They've always had hope for me, and they've always given me the best tools and resources to be able to become, a survivor and be able to thrive in that, this life.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what are you doing these days? I understand you're on the board now.
I am. I'm on the board of directors. I'm the secretary.
Yeah.
Definitely making major moves these days.
Absolutely.
Life is good.
Yeah.
Life is very good. I definitely
Awesome.
have purpose. Yep. So I'm walking in my purpose, and I'm using my voice to be able to help the voiceless here. There's other people that, you can reach down and help them. So, I want to be able to be what was freely given to me.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. And so I got to believe that your input as being part of the board and working with the center is vital to them designing their services portfolio and just their response mechanisms. It's pretty valuable.
Yeah, and I definitely, I'm so thankful, to be able to be a part of that, to, be able to be involved in such, just such a great place to be.
Yeah.
She also went and visited with Speaker Gunn, and she's been up at the Capitol, and she will continue to do that because there's nobody that can deliver the message for what survivors need any better than somebody who's walked that journey.
Sure.
And so she's made some great, powerful friends through this process as well that love her just as much as I do.
Definitely given me a lot of purpose and be able to walk in that purpose, and to be able to have beauty from the ashes. People think because you have so many ashes, that you'll never ever have beautiful things with it. And, that's not true. And to be able to feel, accomplished, to go from definitely one end of the spectrum to, the total opposite, and to walk with my head up a little bit higher these days, have a lot of respect for myself. And, I'm definitely thankful and grateful.
That's
for every
awesome.
bit of it.
Well, as Sandy well knows, there's an art to working with our lawmakers to get legislation passed, and the art is selling. Honestly, you got to sell the value of what you're trying to do. I think you'd be a pretty good salesperson. Your smile is infectious, and your tone and your demeanor are perfect for that. Honestly, and I
Thank you.
can't imagine that. Folks would not respond positively to that, so you should take pride in that.
Thank you.
I'm personally incredibly impressed. So
Thank you
just to
very
let you know,
much.
And what a blessing.
unbelievable.
What a blessing. And it's just, people say, well, how do you do this work? she's sitting right there.
Yeah.
That's how we do this work, is because it's so amazing to see how victims can turn to survivors and how they can just soak up the good things that are put in front of them if they just have the chance, if they have the appropriate programming and the trauma counseling and everything. And, you know, like she so beautifully said, I mean, you know, you may start one place, but you can end at a totally different place. And
Sure.
so it's just what it's all about, and I'm just so delighted that Grace could be here with us today. And I mean, we have a bond that will never be broken.
Ever. Never, ever.
Well, Grace, you made a statement that kind of stuck with me and resonated, which is you see yourself as being a voice for the voiceless.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, first of all, it's brave on your part.
Thank you.
You know, that now that you've been through the recovery journey, and again, you look great.
Thank you.
Seem to be in great health, great condition, which I know was not an easy undertaking.
Not at all.
But the fact that you're willing to stay involved and give back,
Yep.
and try to provide some assistance, even with just input and your knowledge of these situations to help, as you say, the voiceless. That's incredibly admirable. You'll be blessed for it, no doubt about that. So what kind of motivated you to stay with it, keep going? You could have just walked away.
Yep. I definitely could have walked away, which I'll never do, because I'll never cower down. You know, I'm going to stand tall. I'm gonna be brave, and I'm going to continue to use my voice, because so many people out there that have no one that, you know, they think they have no one, but in actuality, like, you really have so many people that are surrounding you and that want to help uplift you and bring you out of those trenches. You know, being in the trenches is what motivated me the most. You know, being in the pits of hell, being in, you know, just the atmosphere, the environment, walking in the storms that I've walked in. You know, it takes a very strong individual to be able to come out of those and be able to, you know, like, I'm going to set fire to the rain, literally. Like, you know, I'm going to be everything that God allows me to be for who he needs me to be, therefore. And to be able to use my voice is definitely the most powerful tool that I have. And so I'm definitely grateful for the opportunity and chance, and definitely I'm not going to give up, and I won't give in. So definitely going to keep fighting.
Well, I would say that's good news for the effort.
Yep.
To try to completely eradicate this scourge.
Definitely.
In our state and in our country. Do you feel like there was a calling there from God above that touched you?
I got chills. Definitely. You know, when you're so alone and in the darkness, you know, you want to ask God sometimes, you know, God, you know, what is my purpose in life? I don't have a purpose here. You know, you get so discouraged, and you definitely just feel like, you know, life isn't worth living sometimes, you know, and to be able to just, you know, have people around me, and, you know, the community that I have around me, and everyone that has, you know, put their time and their effort and their love around me, it's been life-saving, and it's been a life changer to me. And so, yeah.
That's awesome.
She so beautifully works with victims from when they come in. She comes out to the tower and spends time with them, and, you know, because they understand. I mean, she's been there. She knows what they're going through. She knows the fears, the specific things that the barriers that are keeping them from progressing. She gets it. She's lived it. And so, you know, we talk about that lived-in experience, and she's able to provide such a huge encouragement to people when they very first start their journey. And that's just one of the most amazing things that she's doing with her life right now.
You know, those of us, Sandy, who have been blessed in that we haven't had to experience that, or don't have any loved ones that have, we feel, I mean, it's a range of emotions that I feel about it. I feel sadness. I feel sorrow, obviously for the victims.
Right.
I feel anger that it even happens. And, you know, but there's no way we could ever substitute those feelings for someone who's experienced it firsthand. And for someone like you, Grace, to I guess, leverage those experiences to help others is, honestly is the ultimate calling in my view. And it's got to be
totally-
valuable to your organization and to the efforts overall, Sandy.
I mean, I totally agree. She's just a godsend. She's just a miracle walking around, and we just love her, and just she's just a sprinkle of magic and happiness every time we get to spend some time together. She's just an amazing woman.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for giving me the chance and the opportunity.
We're glad you came on.
Yes, sir.
You're awesome.
Great to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you.
Be blessed.
You too.
See you guys later. Thanks, Sandy.
Thanks,
Thank you.
George.
Stepping aside. Coming right back, folks.